Good evening, Floral and welcome to tonight's bulletin of BCN News. Leading the news tonight, Premier Tangilangi this morning signed the agreement for $500,000 from the Asian Development Bank's Asia Pacific Disaster Response Fund. The signing of the agreement was witnessed by three cabinet ministers, Crosley Tatui, Minister Mona Inu and Minister Sauni Tongatuli. Also present is the Acting Secretary of Government, Gayleen Tasmania, the Financial Secretary, Doreen Tiatanga, and Acting Niue Development Bank Manager, Vaini Pasisi. A press release from the Premier's office this morning said that the Government of Niue acknowledged the assistance provided by the Asian Development Bank to support Niue's COVID-19 emergency response, and also the support by the Pacific Department of ADB's office in Suva. The grant is given to help the efforts of the Niue government protect the people of Niue from COVID-19. The grant is part of the funding support from the government of Japan to the Asian Development Bank member countries to strengthen their capacity to contain the spread of COVID-19. Niue became the 68th member of the Asian Development Bank in March last year. The National Carving Association this year put on an impressive show of their carvings, but were disappointed that COVID-19 restrictions on tourism has impacted on their sales at the national show this year. According to the organisers, there was an increase in entries this year, a total of 14 carvers and one female carver. They brought in a total of 210 pieces to the show. This year they chose the traditional Niuean canoe as their competition piece. The carvers were asked to produce a one-man canoe, 1 metre in length and 100 millimetres in width. This year the judges chose the canoe made by Tutaue Siakifilo from Mutalou as the winning piece. In second place is Vaughan Falepoi Misileki from Tuapa, and he also took out third place for his second waka. According to Speedo Hetutu from the association, last year they only had 81 pieces on show from 12 male carvers and 1 female, so they were very pleased with the turnout this year. A mighty effort by the women at the National Show Day this year, with the Farmer of the Year award going to a woman 2 years in a row. Mrs. Fine Alec of Alofi North is the Farmer of the Year, 2nd year in a row. Mrs. Leni Ioane from Mutalou in 2nd place, and 3rd place is another woman from Hakupu and Sabina Whakanaiki. Judging of the village displays this year, the title of Best Village Display goes to Hakupu, 2nd place Mutalou, 3rd Avasele, 4th Toi, 5th Alofi North, and in 6th place Makefu. A special prize went to Hila Tulevihi from the care facility at the Niuefo Hospital. The sweet potato competition is taken out by Halafo Sifi Mokale from Tuapa with 13 different varieties of sweet potatoes. And again in 2nd place with 10 varieties of sweet potatoes is Mrs. Pilana Motufo from Alofi North and Mrs. Leni Ioane from Mutalou in 3rd place with 8 varieties of sweet potatoes. One of the events to celebrate Constitution Week last week was the Alofi South Ladies Floral Cultural Show. And according to the organizer, Mrs. Mana Talangi, she was just amazed at the turnout this year. Mrs. Mana Talangi told BCN News that this is only the 2nd year of the Floral Show, and after the popular turnout this year, she is confident that they will continue to host this as an annual event. Mrs. Talangi said they wanted to do something to celebrate their Member of Parliament, the son of Alofi Tonga, and the current Premier, Honourable Dalton Tangilangi. She said that the idea was initially for the ladies of Alofi South only, but there is growing interest from some of the ladies from the outer villages. The sport of bodybuilding has been missing from our sporting events for some time, so the return of bodybuilding at the combined weightlifting, powerlifting and bodybuilding competition was a hit last week. The combined weightlifting, world powerlifting and Niue bodybuilding competitions were held last week as part of the week-long Constitution celebrations. The competitions drew 16 competitors, 2 of them competing in the bodybuilding event. The sport of bodybuilding made a comeback last week with Moshina Ioane, the only female competitor. Her father, Regan Ioane, is one of Niue's medalists in the sport of bodybuilding. Jack Jr. Filetti from Hakupu was the only male competitor. Regan Ioane is the president of the Niue Bodybuilding Association and is trying to revive the sport in Niue. In the bench press open category masters level, More Makaniue bench pressed 140 kilos, taking out the competition from Ikivale Kifoto with his 110 kilos and Alan Puleosi with 90 kilogram at the bench press. For the women's weightlifting, Chrysaline Sipeni took out the competition as best lifter, lifting 63 kilograms snatch and 90 kilograms in the clean and jerk, a total of 153 kilograms for the 15-year-old. In the powerlifting event, a brother and sister duo took out the competition with Tamara Sioniholo and her younger brother Moses Mautama, and their 12-year-old brother Aileni in third place in the men's competition. In the women's powerlifting, 25-year-old Tamara Sioniholo lifting 160 kilograms in the squat and 145 kilograms in the deadlift, a total lift of 305. In second place is 16-year-old Matalina Okeseni, lifting an impressive 230 kilogram combined total with a squat lift of 110 kilos and deadlift 120 kilos. And a mighty lift by 12-year-old Hanale Kifoto to take up third place with a total lift of 170 kilos. She lifted 80 kilograms in the squat and 90 kilograms in the deadlift. In the men's powerlifting, Moses Mautama took out the competition with a total of 525 kilos. He lifted 265 kilos in the squat and deadlift 260 kilograms. In second place is 17-year-old Jaden Ikitule from Tuapa, lifting a combined total of 305 kilos, 135 kilograms in the squat and 170 in the deadlift. And third place is Moses' little brother, 12-year-old Ailani Mautama, with his total lift of 290 kilos, 130 kilograms in the squat and 160 kilograms in the deadlift. Some mammoth efforts there with the young people lifting at the competitions. And with that, we will leave you until Tuesday next week. It's a long weekend. Do go up to the Floral Show day on Saturday and enjoy yourself. Until Tuesday next week, good night.